Alright, well, I guess we're doing an episode of GreelTalk. I'm here with Billy and Caine, two of my good friends. We're just going to have a yarn while we enjoy our anticols. Yeah. How you been, fellas?
Pretty good.
Fuck yeah. And how about you, Caine?
Good, man. It's been good to spend some time with you the last couple of days.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. It's been a while, man. And you guys have been training your asses off, eh?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. It's good to see, bro. How you finding, what's keeping you motivated to stay training?
I don't really know, to be honest. I guess like having Caine to do it with helps.
So like having a solid person that, you know, I guess
Doesn't flake.
Doesn't flake, yeah. I think that's important sometimes when you're like trying to work towards a goal, is to have someone that shares the same drive and the same goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely
Which
much
can be
easier.
Yeah, which can be hard to do, you know, and it's hard to find in different ways, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess I wanted to have a chat to you guys about motivation, goals, techniques that you guys have personally found that helps you focus and stay committed. You know, we all kind of have met. I guess the three of us originally came friends through our mutual appreciation for rap and hip hop music, but the older we get and the more things change and the more as we grow as individuals, it's really, I'd say my favourite thing about the connection between myself and both of you, something you share, is more the focus and the goals, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people out there that like rap, but I don't align with them all, you know what I mean? And the more I see you guys focused on your goals, the more it convinces me to be aligned with both of you, you know what I mean?
Definitely, man.
How about you, brother? Like you've always had, I know, since I met you in prison, you've always had a healthy attitude towards training.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's always kept me level-headed. And when I don't train, I find myself, you know, not so much recently, but definitely at times over this past 4 years since I was released, if I haven't been training, you know, I find myself using cannabis, for example.
Yeah.
Say 2 years back, I was, you know, on and off the cannabis when it wasn't something I wanted to do, but yeah, when I'm not training consistently, I find myself just letting things slip, you know, like I'm not focused enough on other things to take into consideration the impact that cannabis does have on me as a person or an individual, you know. Some people can train and live a healthy lifestyle with cannabis in their life. Yeah. I'm not one of them people.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah,
it's really good seeing you get off it, bro, and get clear-minded. And, you know, so, yeah, I was with you, bro. You know, we were both using it. Yeah. We were both motivated to achieve our goals, but I know that both of us kept letting them slip because we let the cannabis override it, you know what I mean? And
100%.
So, yeah, I'm proud of you for kind of getting through that, man. Yeah. And you guys have been working on music, eh? Yeah?
Yeah, fucking oath. Been writing a few tracks and I reckon they're gonna slap.
Yeah.
I reckon they're gonna slap when they come out for sure.
Sick, man.
I mean, they sound pretty good just off the first drafts, really. I don't know what
I'm stoked, I won't lie.
Yeah.
Billy's like, you know, as I said to you yesterday when we were talking at the park, bro, like, basically over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks or so.
We've just sort of come to an arrangement, which we won't detail on here, but it's something Billy's gonna be marketing to his audience and all our audiences once he sort of cements things how he wants them. But he's taken a role where basically he's going to start helping not only me but other people that are wanting to put their best foot forward with music and writing tracks and stuff. He's going to, you know, look at it as a business model, you know. Yeah. He's actually very talented, man. Like, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that with Billy since the first time I saw a video that you dropped on THC. I was like, this guy knows what he's doing, you know. There's a lot of people that come through on THC and drop their first track, but I've always been able to tell that you had your head around it. Even before you dropped a video on THC, I think you had like 1 or 2 out before then.
Yeah, well, I've been releasing music on Facebook and shit for years, since I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Always been like just filming myself rapping on a Bluetooth speaker or whatever, and kind of got known around Launceston for rapping, and then yeah, when I started releasing shit on THC, that kind of became the next level up for me for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm like hugely talented in certain aspects of the rap, but I definitely can appreciate the fact that I've spent so many years trying to perfect flow and lyrical structure and like multis and things like that.
Sick.
I think that's definitely my strong point.
Yeah, man. Talent's an interesting one, bro. Because like you know yourself, like people always say, "Oh, you're so talented," but it's really just learning techniques and fucking practicing them. You know what I mean? Like, and as you both know, whether it be like boxing, fighting, physical stuff, or whether it's rapping, any skill that you put your mind to, really, it's the Bruce Lee technique of, you know, you got to put the hours in. You know, some people are gifted when it comes to, I think, like just having that natural sort of connection with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the more you put that time and effort in, that dedication is the gift that gets you to talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely feel like for me personally, it's been talent, but it's been talent that's been revised with learning. So like I think I've always naturally understood flow.
Yeah.
Like it's only been the last year and a half or something that I actually learned to understand the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and counting bars and things like
Interesting.
that. I've never known that.
Interesting.
Until like probably 2021, I think I learned that how
True.
to count bars and things like that. That was a game changer.
Yeah.
That was a game changer for learning, for structuring flows and things like that. But before that, everything that you hear pre 2021 from me is completely, I had no understanding of that, of how bars worked or anything like that.
You were just rapping.
I was just rapping and listening to the beat and figuring out for myself where things were meant to sit.
Sick, man. And so you want to like take like more of a business venture into like helping people?
Yeah, I mean,
that?
On my own personal music, I'm still not sure where I want that to go.
Yeah.
But I love writing. I love writing music, man, and I'm not going to stop. I'll still write my own music for myself and things like that. But as far as releasing stuff, I'm not sure. Not really sure what that looks like yet. But
for sure, bro.
When it comes to writing, bro, I'm more than happy to like sit here and write with Caine and write with anyone else if they feel like they need help structuring and things like that.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot, man. Because I've like written, I've got, I've done 4 albums and then lots of tracks on top of it. I'm at a point where it's like, I mean, I like to write when usually with people, when I'm around, some people that I like and we're going to write together, that's where I get motivated and that's where the goods come. Yeah, it's a vibe. It's something that you're sharing with people,
Bounce back and forth off each other. And learn new things as well, It's,
man.
It's a healthy way to do it, I think.
It is, and it keeps you also open to growth with what you're writing and skill-wise, and I love writing with Complete, man. Every time I write with Complete, it pushes me up like 6 levels. You know what I mean? Because he's just ridiculous when it comes.
Look at Now or Never 2.
Yeah. Fuck, we were talking about doing a Now or Never 3, and I'm like, fuck, how do I because when we did Now or Never 2, it was like, we've got to outdo Now or Never 1. It's like, fuck, now I have to outdo that one, like, you know what I mean? But, sick, man.
Just to circle back on what you said when we first started, I think a big one for motivation, and this goes for me personally, but I think it applies to a lot of people, like a good way to find motivation and a tool that you should sort of harness is finding people you can share your goals with that aren't going to criticise you, mock you, make fun of you, take the piss out of you.
Be competitive with your goals.
Be competitive, try and, it's alright to healthily challenge someone's ideas and their goals and their dreams, but if you know you're going to be mocked or made fun of, or they're going to laugh at you still in a friendly way, but like an unhealthy way, whereas it's actually something you want to accomplish. It's probably best not to share that sort of stuff with people that are going to do that.
100%, man. And I was talking to TL about this because it is hard in where we grew up. There is quite a culture of don't stand out, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you want to do something, you want to stand out, shut it down, you know what I mean? Yeah. Show off, you think of this, you think of that. Or they just don't understand the possibility, and especially with rap growing up in Tassie, for me when I was young, it was just like, you think you can be a rapper, mate, you know what I mean? And I know the same thing with you, Caine, when we were in jail. I noticed, even though people loved you, and they had your back 100%. They just didn't see it as a possibility. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I tried to drive home to you. I was like, it's a possibility, bro. You know, we just have to take the steps. So yeah, I've been very grateful to share those goals with you, man. And I find the further we get down the track of our friendship and our connection, the more that we continue to focus on goals, and the more that we push ourselves forward, it only strengthens the connection. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it gives me motivation. You know, like for both of you that I met on my journey when I was already, I guess, established as a rapper. You know, from when you first came on THC to when I met you in prison, to see you guys where you're at, working hard, you know, fucking recording new bangers, hearing your improvement, watching you both grow together as artists as you work together, it motivates me and I get that back, you know what I mean? So it's interesting because it's a full circle and it keeps coming back and forth.
It's good, man. Like, you know, I've been through a lot of shit this last 6 months, and you know, Billy's been there side by side, day in, day out. Like, it's made it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's made it easy, but it's definitely made it easier. For me to fucking have a set routine, know I can rely on him. If he says he'll be here at this time, if he's not there even, he'll let me know, you know. I'm not sitting around waiting, contemplating, oh, should I do something else? I know it's just a matter of time. He's going to message, he'll call, he'll be here, we'll organise it for tomorrow. It's not, you know, like,
I do.
As we were discussing yesterday, like, I really struggle with uncertainty.
Yeah.
And that's because my whole life was uncertain.
Yeah.
So like now, the thought of any uncertainty, I'm stressing, my heart's racing, I get panicked, you know, like, to try and set things in stone.
Yeah.
And without that, I get really flustered. Like,
yeah, for sure,
so,
man. You're a very routine-based sort of like fella, and I've noticed that really helps with you. And I noticed with you, bro, like working with Caine, no doubt he's helped you with your routine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that leads on into training, and that leads on, like, and that's it. Once you find someone that you can share that motivation with, and that you can support each other back and forth, it goes on above, you know, you might be helping him with music, but at the same time, he's helping you build routine for the rest of, you know, your life as well. And because I've noticed that since you guys are hanging out, your life has gone, and you've gotten yourself to a really good spot, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good thing, you know. Men, like a lot of people, are judgmental of grown men, you know, especially women, not being hypocritical, but women are like, oh, you know, men always spend heaps of time together, boys' time, this, that. If it's in a healthy environment and for healthy reasons, it's the best way to boost each other. You know, like, it's just,
straight up.
As you keep saying, when males or females have a small group or a small circle of friends that they can rely on and, as you said, bounce off and share ideas with and be pushed and motivated and applauded for like progress and accomplishing things, it's a massive incentive to keep going. When you're alone, it's hard to stay focused and it's hard to like appreciate your own goals if you're the only one seeing the success, and you can acknowledge you've succeeded in something, but it's so much better having someone go, well done, man.
Give you that other perspective of it too.
They want to know how you done it, what motivated you, you know, did you put routine, all these things, like it all adds to the appreciation of the succeeding side. So like it's a healthy thing, I think. Like,
definitely, man, and that's, I guess, finding your tribe. You know what I mean? Finding the people that you align with in that way. And I think, you know, as well, especially in like small towns where we all grew up, where the population is small, you naturally fit into tribes based off circumstance. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like circumstance that you're hanging out with these guys because you're all from the same area. And as you grow older, and I've really found this as well, because I'm, you know, as I've grown older, and especially the way I've lived and I've travelled around, I've found definitely groups of people that I've aligned with in certain aspects of my life, and that was rap. That was like a big part of, like, when I was first traveling around the country. Oh, you rap? I rap, boom, we're on. But then I'd get a year into that social circle and realise, hold up, I don't align with these people and this and this. We might rap, you know what I mean? But
that's
like,
the only thing you got in common, like.
That's it. And then I've realised, you know, and I'm actually realising that now, as I'm doing this vlog, and the more that I kind of grow and really use what I'm putting out to the world and trying to listen back to myself and be accountable for what I'm saying. I'm growing at the moment, and I'm not aligning with certain people I thought I did only a year ago at my age, you know what I mean? So it's, I think to bring it back, it's why it's so good to, with the people you connected with, to have that sort of alignment in mindset and hold that as a priority in your friendship, you know?
Definitely. It's as, you know, like we all come back from Hobart together on Sunday. It was a long drive, as anyone that's done the drive knows, and you know, we spoke about a lot of things, and that camaraderie of being on the same level as someone else, as we just said, it's a massive boost. Like, and everyone's got friends, but like, as you just said, as time goes by, and I said it yesterday when we were driving, my circumstances now personally dictate how I feel, how I think, and how I respond to certain things, and what I'm in tune with, you know what I mean? I'm not black and white anymore. I'm not like, it's hard to explain.
Like, when you say black and white, do you mean that kind of, you're a bit more open-minded?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
My experiences day in, day out determine how I think, feel and react. Yeah. Whereas I used to have a strict mindset, a strict way of looking at things. Yeah. It wouldn't matter what happened in between, I'd still look at it the same and think the same, and it'd just be an individualised thing, you know. I'd be like, oh, it's just because it's him, or it's just because it's there, or it's just because it's them. Not looking at it with that open mind, like, you know.
Yeah, like putting yourself in their shoes, or that like, sort of thing.
Just black and white.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like the walls, and that's it. Like, I think the culture we grew up in as well, like, it's very walls, you know, very black and white on paper, you know, even just the way the system works, you know what I mean? Like, especially when you're being, you know, put in the institution for a part of your life, you get given a number, you're in 4 walls, blah, 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 and it's very categorized and very, you know what I mean? And it's easy to get caught up in those walls. And that's where people get stuck, you know what I mean? Like, especially for a lot of people that grew up down here in Tassie, they don't see much opportunity around them. They don't see any walls getting broken down, so they think, I'll just sit here. You know what I mean? And they don't, you know, go further on their journey, or, you know what I mean? Because they are just kind of sitting there looking at the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, that kind of, brings you back to what you're saying about what you were talking with TL. I'm assuming you were talking about that conversation on the blog. Like, I feel like that's a big thing. Like, not many people in Launceston in particular are doing anything that's breaking walls. Yeah. You know? And then, like, me and Teal and Love It, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure they are as well, like, we're our own scene as far as Launceston hip hop. Like, back in 2018, 2019, where we just, like, you know, that was when, like, what Teal was talking about, he was freestyling at parties. We were all known for rapping and things like that, and everyone laughed at all of us. Yeah. All of us, bro. Yeah. None of us were exempt from that. That was fucking, no one, it's the same thing, bro. Like, everyone thinks that, you know, you're a fuckwit for trying to be a rapper. Like, you know, and
for trying to break the wall.
But you see T.O., bro, like when T.O. and Love It, when they dropped North to South in particular, like, fuck, man, all these people that I seen laughing at them, praising them.
Yeah, there you go. Sudden, you know? It's always the case, man. And I had the same thing before I left Tassie, because when I was first rapping, oh, you're gonna be a rapper, mate, blah, 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 blah. And then when I did it in Melbourne, well, that was the thing where the same people that were laughing at me behind my back. And I had like 3-4 years, after I like started battling around the country, the next 4 years, whenever I was out in the town, people would come up to me, sorry, bruv, I used to bag you up behind your back, you know what I mean? But you're killing it now. Yeah. Oh yeah, brother. You know what I mean? Like,
I had the same experience not even that long ago. I was at a pub, and this guy that used to bully me in high school, you know, he fucking came up to me. I was a bit like, I saw him walking over to me, like, oh, fuck this cunt. Yeah. And he comes over to me and he sits down next to me and says, oh no, I used to give you heaps of shit in high school, man, but I just want to let you know I'm not sucking up your ass, but your music's fucking sick.
Yeah. Bless him, you know. I like that. I'm not sucking up your ass, you know what I mean?
It's like, you're sucking up my ass a little bit.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting term, not sucking up your ass. Like, I never think of the imagery with it. That's the first time it clicked with me with the imagery. Like, oh, sucking up your ass.
It's just the phrase, you know. Like,
But I get heaps of people that apologise to me for not knowing, or or just interesting things like that. No, I don't want to fuck. You can just say you like what I'm doing. It's all good. You don't need to give a terms and conditions before you give me a compliment. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that, once again, that leads back to our culture. I think that's a very Australian thing. Yeah, mate, don't want to fucking, big no chat.
Pat you on the back.
Don't want to pat you on the back, but good job. It's interesting, bro. And likewise with you, bro. Like, when we were in jail, there wasn't many people that could really see the vision that you and I were sharing, And I remember when Ruthless Northerner dropped, it kicked off. Didn't Ruthless Northerner get like 10,000 views in the first night or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I was watching it yesterday. It's up to like 170 now.
True. Yeah. I remember when that dropped, it blew the whole of Tassie out, let alone just Launceston. It would have just coursed through the suburbs, what I mean?
Right. I didn't even really know you when that came out, but I was fucking doing blockies in the Black Magnet pumping it. Bro.
Yeah.
It's a really weird, I wouldn't say a weird dynamic for me, but like, as we just touched on when we were in jail, it was hard because I'd written raps and tried to teach myself how to rap in the detention centre and the jail from such a young age, and no one ever supported me. They all made fun of me. Oh, you think you're Eminem, Richo, things like that. And like, it's a weird dynamic for me now because, although music didn't make me financially stable, famous or successful or any of these things, it gave me stability, it gave me purpose, it gave me appreciation of my freedom. It showed me that I could actually put my abilities and talent and time and effort and hard work into other things that could be productive. And also, not that, help other people, people would appreciate the music and compliment me, as we just spoke on, and it's a weird one for me, I don't think I'll ever stop making music. Obviously, everyone that makes music would love to go, boom, Billboard charts, tour and all these sorts of things, but for me now, nearly 35 years of age, it's just it's sort of like a passion now. Like, I enjoy doing it and hearing the finished product. I don't have, as we touched on yesterday as well, we should have had the vlog going yesterday. Expectation is a massive thing, and everyone has expectation in some aspect of their life, or in my case, every aspect. So it can be a really big positive, it can be a really big negative. It just depends how you apply it and what you expect from that expectation. So I'm just happy, that we got down there on Sunday and made some music, and we'll see how it does. I'm not,
Oh, it sounded sick, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I think from your EP, that you did with Lockie Hamill, and shout outs to Lockie for all the beats, the hard work on that. And I listened to what you were recording the other day, and it was leagues. You know what I mean? And that was, once again, I could tell how motivated you'd had Caine, and I could hear how much improvement that he'd come from that. And it was really good in that sense. One thing I've noticed when I travel, right, because I catch up with so many rappers around the country at all different stages of their lives and careers, all different, some rappers are, they've got a family and they just like making music in their spare time. Some people are still chasing that dream. Some people are trying to get on the radio. Some people are trying to just, be the well-known guy in their area. You know what I mean? There's so many different goals, but the whole kind of idea of making it is still a term that gets thrown around much.
Where do you make it? At what point have you made it, I think?
What I believe, bro, is when you are content with yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you can, and for me, like, I definitely, got into making music because I loved it. I was obsessed with it. Like, rap was something that just clicked, and I was trauma bonded with it, and so it became a vehicle. As well, because I wanted people to like me. When I was young, I didn't really feel like I fit in. But I was like, well, everyone will like rap. I'll do that, and then everyone will like me, But for where I'm at after rapping for fucking 17 years now, making it is just being content in yourself. And as you said, bro, it's just having it as a passion and a purpose, doing something that you love and something that can keep you moving forward. And even, you know, it might not give you the things that you first expected from it. It can be something that helps give you direction that then helps you, you know,
100%.
like for example with me with this vlog right now, I'm trying to use this to give myself direction to help the rest of my life align in more of a stable way that then kind of, you know what I mean? And rap didn't really give me that purpose as much because once again, when I was doing it, I was still trying to fill a void. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with this vlog, I'm not trying to do this to get famous. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I'm just doing it because I love talking to people. I love sharing with people like we are now. And I think you know, there's so many times in my journey from when we were in prison together, from when we first met, from when we did the show at the Mersh, you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. And I see that progression and growth from those important conversations that we had. So really, for me, it's kind of like capturing those motivational moments between people, sharing them with other people, hoping that they can, you know, understand as well. And even since doing this, it's only just started. I've had heaps of people that are like really motivated and, you know, commenting and saying, oh, fuck yeah. So, you know, if I can then say, hey, but this is how Billy's motivated himself and this is how Caine's motivated himself, you know, the guys that are listening to your music are going to watch that. And I know with TL yesterday, like, there's already a bunch of people that have hit me up and gone, man, that's fucking sick, especially the young lads that listen to him because, you know, TL has got quite a large audience with the youth in the street at the moment. Yeah. They really like him and they identify with what he's saying in his music and they identify with his fashion and just kind of how he carries himself. Yeah. So I think, yeah, for me, yeah, this kind of purpose is just kind of combining it all together, you know what I mean? And,
yeah, fully.
And as well, using it as a chance to motivate you guys. Like the one I did with Neil earlier, he'd never had a chance to ever tell his story on camera, you know, and I just sat there and he just, for an hour straight, told his whole story. And after we turned off the vlog, he was like, man, I feel so confident, I feel empowered. When he got home, I make some beats, I'm gonna do this. And he did like one of his poems on the vlog as well, and it was fucking sick. Yeah, man. Like his poetry's getting really good. And that's it, if I can use just having a yarn and film it to help uplift someone, then, you know, that's my purpose now. But yeah, I think making it is like I know guys that have, you know, 360 is a great example because 360 made it before anyone else, well, not before anyone else, but he was probably the first individual to make it the way he did in Australia commercially, you know, and even then, he had to go through a lot of personal growth and healing that we're seeing him come out now as he's kind of restructured himself. And so yeah, and once again, I know for him, money wasn't making it. He had money, but he hadn't made it. Until he's actually found himself, found his purpose and he's content in himself, you know, that's where I see him making it. It's like, he's made it now. It wasn't the money, it wasn't the festivals, it wasn't the #1 chart. It was just being content and happy in himself.
Yeah, fully. Fully.
But it's still a hard one because your average fan will go, oh, you'll make it one day, bruv.
You'll make it one day. I don't know, I think I've made it. Given your definition of making it, being content, I've done things that I could have only dreamed of when I was young, you know. Like with my music, I've never fucking made hundreds of thousands, even thousands of dollars off music, or fucking never made more than 20,000 views on a music video. But you know, I've been on stage at a complete show, been on stage at a Cursor show, thanks to you, bro. Fucking, you know, like just those. Like I was on stage when Complete was doing Bloodstained Nikes, for fuck's sake, bro. That was like my anthem when I was 15 years old. You know,
straight up.
But that's making dreams come true as far as I'm concerned.
And the memories you'll never forget.
That's something like a lot of people will never have the opportunity to do, and I've been lucky enough to do that.
For sure.
How far I've actually come with releasing music. Like I'm not the most popular rapper in Tasmania or Australia by any means at all. Fucking, but you know, I feel like I'm fucking. In those moments, you feel like you're the fucking king. You know.
100%, bro. And like, yeah. That is king shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, in hip hop, people say, oh, this guy's a king. There's a lot of kings in hip hop, you know what I mean? And it is, you know, for me, a king is someone that achieves their goals and then shares it and teaches others. So, double king, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you're doing that is like, that's hip hop. You do, in the culture of hip hop, it is each one teach one. You have to pay it forward, you know what I mean? And you weren't lucky to get that, you know, support with Complete and Curse. You earned it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, for me, you know, I know when I was getting gigs and supports, and like I look in hindsight compared to other people that didn't get those supports, and it wasn't luck, it was reason. I was putting in more work than they were, you know what I mean? And therefore people saw my value, they gave me more opportunities. And likewise, I've reflected that. The more I saw you put in work, I was like, sick, you've shown work, dedication, opportunity goes your way. It's nothing to me, you know what I mean? Like, but it's awesome how much it means to you, you know? Like, I'm honoured that I can help facilitate making someone's dream, you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's, you know, after our talks yesterday and today, man, like I think that's a big thing that goes understated, and, you know, there's not enough emphasis on it. People that do what you are doing now with the vlogs, you know, Jeffrey Morgan, Russell Manser, Brent Simpson, Will Smith with JCP, Gary Wright, all these, yourself, Billy with his music, anyone that does, it's referred to as entertainment, but like, when you really dissect it, putting yourself on camera, talking about the hard issues and the hard things that people mock, judge, laugh, criticise and undermine in a general setting, to get on camera and do that, it's like, you know, it's basically free social counselling, because so many people, when it comes to music or stuff like podcasts and vlogs and things like that, they can sit there and be honest and open when someone else is, especially someone they can relate to and they can see in the street and they can know, they can follow on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is. It makes it a bit easier for the person at home that can't bring themselves to go to a counsellor or can't bring themselves to do things to better their lives. They're getting free insight from lived experience from people that are being selfless enough to put themselves out there, you know? It's invaluable, really, when you really look at it. Like, you know, all them names I just said there, including yourself, it's very selfless to be able to sit there and provide the kind of, it's a free service, effectively, you know, for people to get that insight and not have to go through those lived experiences to learn things that the people that are sharing with them are explaining in detail.
100%.
It's invaluable in my opinion. Like,
100%. And especially with people with experiences like yourself and, you know, stuff that we've all been through. You know, you're not going to find in a psychologist's office. I've seen psychologists, and they might have some good advice. They might, you know what I mean? Not having to dig at psychologists, but, you know, they might not have been through the life situations that all three of us have been through. And not everyone can relate to them. And that was like when I saw a psych before I got locked up, I went and saw a fella, and he's a great psych, absolute legend of a bloke, but once again, I couldn't relate to him as a person, you know what I mean? And he couldn't relate to me, and he gave me some good advice, but yeah, I think that's where it's powerful now that with the internet and with these sort of platforms that we can build, anyone can share their truth. And I know for me, due to like real life circumstances, as well as like seeing these people that were being vulnerable in podcasts, being honest with themselves and putting that out there to the world, it empowered me to do that and overcome my insecurities and break down those walls that we were talking about that I was still allowing to box myself in. And the more I boxed myself in, it kind of affected me mentally, affected me physically, in all negative ways, you know. And the more I break down these walls, the better I get mentally, which means the better my body gets, you know. I'm eating better because as soon as my mind's working well, I can make better decisions and, you know, stick to routines a bit better, all that sort of stuff. So it's powerful, and I'm grateful for you, have you fellas on here having this yarn, because I know that a lot of people that listen to both your music are going to find inspiration through this, you know. You know, you've always been a big motivator for me, Caine. And like, this is one thing that
goes, bro.
Like, and you know, and I remember when we were walking laps in Median, and you know, and I was telling you what you could do, but whenever I'd finish my sentence, you'd hit it back and you'd be like, yeah, but what are you going to do for yourself? You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like a big full circle doing this vlog right now, because I feel that this vlog, even though I'm sharing with everyone, and as you said, it's a bit of a free service, it is something that I'm doing for myself that's going to help propel me to a higher level in life.
Definitely.
And so once again, bro, thank you for that, man.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Goes both ways, brother.
yeah, man. That's the beauty of it. And yeah, so what's the plans for the rest of the year? You gonna do some video clips for this new music?
I'll grab a pen and a pad. Nah, we've actually, we're going to stick with our training. We're going to start adding a few more elements to the training.
Yeah.
Cold plunges and, you know, a few other, We've got to get back into the boxing. That's one of the big things.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tricky one, you know, because I've, you know, posted about it in the past. For me, you know, like I've got really good genetics. I don't have to train to have a good physique, so it makes it hard for me to stay motivated. Like when you asked Billy what motivates him, I felt like he went, what would Caine say? Because I've said it to him 100 times. Without you, I wouldn't be down there training. And he turned around and said the exact same thing. I was like, you bastard. But yeah, I've said to him 100 times, like, you know, thank you, man, because if you weren't here every day between 12 and 5 or, you know, 9 and 12, whatever time he comes so we can go train, it's not like I'd be like, oh, we have to train, because I get lazy because of my genetics. I don't have to train.
Fully.
Whereas he's full committed, full consistent, full focused on, you know, his goals. And that makes me motivated to want to help him get there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so and in turn, it keeps you motivated.
In turn, I have to be there training just as hard. So, you know, it's hard to do any sort of physical training, whether it's fight training or weight training, and be pushing someone to their limit, and you're just half-assing it. You know, you can't do that. Like, it's just not going to fly, you know what I mean?
Straight on.
But, yeah, definitely going to make film clips for videos, and, you know, Billy's still got heaps of songs in the bank, and I was trying to convince him to record more when we were down there on Sunday, but he was content with the one. But
sick, man.
I'll get it out of him. I'm confident I will.
Sick, man.
I'll release some music. I just don't know what yet.
Yeah.
Or when.
For sure, man. And whenever the time's right, bro, you'll know. You know. I've got a few back burners sitting in the bank, you know what I mean? And at the moment, they're just there for whenever the time's right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll feel like doing it. And it's the beauty of being, once again, when you feel like you're content with yourself and you're moving forward, you can do whatever you like.
Yeah.
I talk to my mate Lewis Spears quite a lot about, as an artist, and he's a, you know, comedian, and one thing that we both did in the past was just, we ended up not loving what we were doing because we were trying too hard to achieve. And we always compare it to like holding a broken glass together. Do you know what I mean? When you're consistently trying to like, but I need to do this and I need to do that to reach this and blah, blah, blah. You're there holding the broken glass, but you're cutting your hands.
Comes back to that expectation.
It does, yeah. And it's like, my glass might still be together, but you're bleeding, you know what I mean? And sometimes you need to let go of it to allow yourself to do it for the right reason. And I guarantee you, when you do it for the right reason, it always goes better than when you're trying to hold the broken glass together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's with every situation in life.
Fully.
I guess something that I've just sort of said here for the last couple of minutes since you touched on it, I want to really touch on too, is like, you know, I'm a really good example of it. You know, I've held on to a lot of friendships that I knew were unhealthy for me.
Yeah.
And I tried my hardest and forgive and forgave and forgive and forgave and just kept like trying to overlook the cold hard facts that like you can only do so much for someone if they keep repeating the behaviours that you don't agree with, you don't align with, and you don't want to see them doing because it's harmful to them, their loved ones, or yourself. In our culture, it's really hard to, you know, you're turning your back on your brother. You're shitting on your mate, you're scum, you're a two-faced cunt, you know, like it's so hard to walk away from not only friendships, relationships that you've built with your friends over time, or loved ones. It doesn't matter whether they're your family or your friends.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're an adult, it sort of comes back to the person that's making those poor decisions, you know.
Yeah.
It's not on us, be it us three or whoever's watching the vlog, to harness and have to take on that bad shit that other people are doing that's unhealthy. And
Yeah.
you know, the right thing and the smart thing to do is to put your best foot forward trying to help them. But if they continually let you down and let themselves down, it is not an unhealthy thing or the wrong thing to do, to take a step back and let them reflect on their own for a while, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, man. Because when you forgive someone that is consistently repeating a negative behaviour, you're actually rescuing them and enabling them.
And validating what they're doing.
And then they'll end up persecuting you for it.
All that ever does is hold you back.
It does. It's like the drama triangle. Have you heard about the drama triangle?
No, I don't think so.
So picture it like this, right? There's a triangle upside down, and you've got the victim in the bottom point, and you've got the rescuer and the persecutor. And when you're in a toxic friendship, relationship, whatever it is, and someone is stuck as a victim, because we're all victims at certain points in our life, you know what I mean? You get victimized due to your circumstances, by someone, fucking injure yourself, whatever, you know, and oh, I'm a victim. And then you go, well, yeah, that's all right, they fucked you over, you know, you're right, you are a victim. But it doesn't change their victimhood, you know what I mean? And yeah, they'll fucking end up persecuting you for it, and then you're a victim, you know what I mean? And that's where the negative loop will go round and round and round. So what you have to do is switch what's called the drama triangle up to the empowerment triangle. And so instead of victim, rescuer, persecutor, which is the loop, you flip it to challenger, coach, and creator. So when someone's in a victim situation, of course it's important to hold space for someone, allow them to process what they've gone through, you know what I mean? Like, if you just ignore the fact that you've been a victim and you just dismiss it, you'll bury it down low and, you know what I mean? Like, not actually deal with it.
Yeah.
So you have to obviously acknowledge when you've been fucked over, but once again, you have to challenge them to overcome it. So instead of going, you know, oh yeah, they fucked you over, oh, you know, they're dogs. You go, yeah, they fucked you over, but what can you do to get yourself out of a victim mentality? I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to grow. I challenge you to overcome it. And then you coach. You say, yeah, I'll be there to help you get through it. You know what I mean? And then you coach them to create a new situation that is going to flip them from a victim situation to create something that will empower them. You know what I mean? And that's the drama triangle to flip to a empowerment triangle. You know what I mean? It's just 3 points. It's so simple. My mate Sporadic learned that in rehab over in WA. And since he told it to me, every social situation that I'm in, anytime that someone's come up to me and like, oh, I'm a victim, and I go, yeah, that sucks. You know, your emotions are valid. The way you're responding to it, yeah, it's shit. But I'm going to challenge you to overcome it, you know. And a lot of people don't like that. Oh, fucking, and it's like, sorry, I can't rescue you. You know what I mean? And that's it. They're going to persecute you. You know what I mean? Like, but that's up to them. And that's when you have to walk away. Because truly, if someone is in a victim mentality, whether they be your partner, whether they be your friend, whether they be family, if you continue to rescue them, it will actually never help them. Yeah. And so that's, you know, with those people that think, oh, you're a dog because you're not sticking by me by this situation, they're actually hurting themselves, you know what I mean? And they're actually dogging themselves. They're not having their own back. And that's it. You can't have someone's back if they don't have their own back, you know?
And the sort of simplest way that I've looked at it, for me personally, is like, drug addiction, leave that out of it. As I keep saying, as adults, if you value someone's friendship and their relationship with you enough, you'll find a way to overcome it. Yeah. You'll find a way to fix whatever's broken.
Exactly.
Whether it's the breakdown of the communication, breakdown of socialising with that person, or just altogether no contact with them at all because of that repetitive behaviour.
That's it, man.
You'll find a way.
Oh, 100%. And I've found this in the past with people that, like, yeah, I've got friends that I've had for half of my life that spent years in a victim mentality, and I couldn't deal with them. Whenever they talk to me and they're, I'm still a victim, and I was like, nah, I can't. You know what I mean? Because And if I enable them being a victim, and then I start to enable myself being a victim, you know what I mean? And it rubs off on you. But, 8 years down the track, they pull themselves out of that victim mentality. They go get a job. They start getting their mind right. They start motivating themselves. And they want to be friends again. Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm down to be good friends with the motivated version of you. But I can't be around you if you're forever going to sit in a victim mentality, And I've had to wait a decade for some. Some I might never see them in that motivated aspect. But, I think a lot of people, when they're in that victim mentality and then people walk away from them and they're like, oh, well, fuck, now I've got no one. And it's like, no, you got yourself.
Yeah.
And this is where you actually, sometimes it is a blessing when everyone walks away from you, because that's when you go, well, fuck, I've got no one. I need to find myself, and yeah, it can be a very good thing. Once again, I lost a lot of friends when I went to jail that I thought were really close friends, but as soon as I wasn't there to rescue them in their victim mentality, because I was incarcerated, which was something that I couldn't really help at that time because of the mistakes that I'd made, that's when I realised, like, fuck, I was in toxic friendships with people that fed off the drama, and I was there mainly as an enabler because I loved the people that I, was friends with. It doesn't mean I didn't love them at all. I loved them enough to enable them to do that shit for years. You know what I mean? But once I realised that, due to my circumstances, that it wasn't a two-way street, and I met people like yourself, Caine, that were working in a two-way street with me with empowerment, you know what I mean? That's when I started to realise I need to find a tribe of people that are going to empower me as much as I empower them, Yeah.
This is some deep stuff, man.
It's a good fucking chat, man. I told you it'd be good. Weren't sure what we were going to talk about, but it's just come out,
Yeah.
But once again, man, I'm very grateful to have you guys on this vlog. Thank you so much. And for everyone watching, I hope you can take something from this. Make sure you follow Caine and follow Billy and keep an eye out for their music. And thanks again, fellas.
Alright, cheers.
Hey. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother.